Hello students. Today we are going to begin with our writing section, and the first topic that we are going to take is letter to the editor. So let's begin with it. Now, what are the learning objectives of today's session? The learning objective of today's session is to learn how to use conventions of formal letter writing, especially letter to the editor. Now, in today's scenario, why we still have to write letters? Why are letters still prevalent? It is because a record can be referred to in case of necessity. That whenever required, you can see a hard copy or a soft copy of the letter that is sent or written, and then you can refer to it. Also, it bears the imprint of the personality of the reader. A very nice rapport is to be maintained between the business firms and the official departments and others also. So a nice formal language, a polite style is always required to maintain good rapport between them. Also, they are very much popular because they can be written for a variety of purposes. Now, what are the different purposes for which we can write formal letters? We can highlight an issue, we can spread awareness, we can convey information, we can make inquiries about something, we can apply for jobs, we can complain about something, we can apologize for something, we can ask for things or services, and also we can place order. Now, broadly categorizing, the formal letters can be categorized into three types. The first one is letter to the editor, the second one is official letters, and the third one is business letters. Now, the letter to the editor is written to express public opinion, views, registering protest, voicing concern about any relevant social issues or other issues. Official letters are written to make requests, complaints, suggestions, or sending applications. Business letters are written between firms and individuals on business matters. Now, what is the layout of writing formal letters? Here, especially, we are discussing about letter to the editor. So, we begin with writing the letter by writing the sender's address. You know that nowadays we are following standard block format, and according to the school and university accepted norms, not the conventional norms, we are following the block format where no commas or full stops are applied. You can write your house number, your lane, your city, and the zip code, etc. So 2 or 3 lines can be taken here, can be used here to write the sender's address. After the sender's address, you have to write the date. The date can be written in 2 styles. You can write the Indian or British style, where you can write 15th July 2020, or you can also use the American or international style, where you can write July 15, 2020. Line can be left for clarity. Then we write the receiver's address. The receiver's address is also divided into 3 parts. In the first line, we have to write the recipient's title. Suppose the editor, the manager, the director, etc. In the second line, we have to write the address, or here in this case, in the letter to the editor, we will write the name of the national newspaper or local newspaper. National newspaper can be Times of India, Hindustan Times, The Hindu, etc. Or you can write local newspaper's name if asked for. Then in the third line, write the name of the city and the zip code. After that, we come to the salutation. In the salutation, you can write Dear Sir or Dear Madam or Sir or Madam. You can also write Dear Mr. Jones if you know the person's name. Subject. Now, subject should be written in brief, it should be to the point, and it should tell you the purpose, tell them the purpose of writing. It can also be underlined. Now, body of the letter, which is very important, can be divided into 3 or 4 paragraphs. The first paragraph is the introductory paragraph, where you introduce yourself and briefly you also tell about the purpose of writing. Second is the main paragraph, where you write the purpose in detail. You highlight the issue in detail in the letter to the editor, and all the details are given in the second paragraph. After describing nicely the scenario and giving all the details, in the next paragraph, that is the third paragraph, give suggestions regarding it. Whatever the issue is, there could be something that you would like to be done. So these are your suggestions. Write elaborately all the suggestions that you think for, and then come to the closing paragraph. In the closing paragraph, you wrap up and you discuss that you hope that an immediate action would be taken, or your voice or your opinion would be voiced properly at a suitable corner in the newspaper, etc. Then it is subscription or courteous leave taking. You can write yours faithfully or yours sincerely. So if you have written dear sir, etc., you can write yours faithfully. If you have written dear Mr. Jones, you can write yours sincerely. But remember that both can be used here in letter to the editor. Then you have to write the signature of the writer. That means the sender has to put his signature, and if there is any designation that is required, you can mention that. Now let us see a sample of letter to the editor. So there is an address given here. So you have to write the address in this way, that how house number and the address is given, and then later you write the locality and the city and the zip code. Next we can see the way of writing the date. Any one of the styles can be followed. Please don't write both the styles. So this is the date, whether it is 17th July 2017, July 17, 2020, whatever it is, please write accordingly. The editor. Now next is the recipient's address. So the recipient's title is the editor. And you have to write the name of the national daily, Hindustan Times. Can you see the is capital and in E is capital in the editor? So the editor. Hindustan Times again is the proper noun, so please use a capital here. Hindustan Times or Times of India, and then the city, that is New Delhi or any other city, along with the zip code. Then it is the salutation, dear sir, dear madam, or you can write sir or madam. Now what is the subject here? In brief, you have to tell that what your point is that you are going to discuss in this letter. The subject given here is need for people's movement for a clear Yamuna. Just in one line you have to complete it. Okay, just 5 or 6 words would be enough to highlight the issue, or directly talk about the issue. Just this much of a sentence or a part of the sentence is enough. Then we come to the body of the letter, and you know that the body of the letter is most important. Now normally letter to the editor begins with that through the columns of your esteemed newspaper, or through the columns of your widely circulated newspaper, comma, then you can introduce yourself, that Radha or Radhika or whosoever, and who you are, member of the NGO Awaz, would like to draw your kind attention towards the deteriorating water of river Yamuna. So this, in short, you have introduced yourself, and in short you have told you what is the purpose of writing your letter. In the second paragraph, you will elaborate everything in detail. The city of Delhi is getting contaminated water from river Yamuna. The residents are to be blamed for this. So the real culprits are the residents. They pollute the river with garbage, sewage and filth. The river water is full of bacteria, plastic, chemicals, and other waste materials. It is unfit for consumption. So you are writing all these details. So here, after writing this, you can also write the people have been demanding a water treatment plant. After giving the scenario, the problem, the condition in detail, write about what are your suggestions or what the people are asking for. The people have been demanding a water treatment plant. That is the first thing, which will remove all the filth and toxic materials from being disposed and will save our ancient river from being converted into a dirty drain. So it will treat and it will remove all the dirt and filth and toxic materials. The authorities have not yet responded to the repeated requests, and the problem is that people are making requests but the authorities are not paying heed to it. Now, what do you want? I request you to highlight the problem in your newspaper. This is the closing paragraph that you are wrapping up now after giving suggestions, that I request you to highlight the problem in your newspaper and arouse public interest. The public should be know and be aware about it. We all need to get together in order to get the plant set up in the area. So public should be reunited for a cause. I hope my opinion would find a suitable corner in your newspaper and the concerned authorities would take immediate action. So I hope that my opinion will find or my voice will find a suitable place in your newspaper and the authorities would take immediate action and the people would also become aware of this problem. So this is how you have written the main body of the letter. Now what is to be written in subscription? You know that in the subscription it could be thanking you and it could be yours faithfully or yours sincerely and your name and your designation if required. You know that when you are writing the subscription or a complimentary clause, then Y in yours should be capital and S in sincerely or F in faithfully should be small. And you have to write your name Radha, and you can also write a surname. Normally just a name is given in the question, so people just write the name Radha, but it will always be advisable if you even mention your surname, and then it is the designation that you have to write it here. I think you would be able to understand the layout of writing a formal letter. I would like to give you an assignment for the same. Now see this assignment, that this place is a thickly populated locality inhabited by mainly the working class people. Unfortunately, there is no Amul milk booth in the locality. Write a letter in 100 to 120 words to the editor of a local daily. It is not a national daily, it is a local issue and you have to express it in a local newspaper, drawing the attention of the authorities to the problem faced by the people, requesting them to open a milk booth. So how would you discuss the problem? What are the suggestions you would give? And describe properly what is the scenario, what are the problems faced by the people. You have to make certain requests, suggestions, etc. And who you are Sham or you are Shobha, and you are living at 4 Gandhinagar, Mumbai. So this is the assignment. Please try to write this letter in your notebook. I hope you have understood it. After going through this, please attempt a few more letters from the past sample papers or any refresher book in your notebook.